Good morning, and thanks for joining us live on KJRH.com and our 2 News mobile app. We are thrilled to be joined in the studio this morning by Zach and Colton Swon.
Yes, the Okies from Muskogee are now in the top 5 on The Voice. We're happy to have them back home, at least for the day. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
We're great. We're great. We're happy to have you guys here.
Hey, it is good to be home.
I bet.
We are home. It feels so good.
Because you haven't really been home. I mean, you were home for the Healing in the Heartland concert, but you haven't really been down to Muskogee
That's
in
right.
quite a while.
Not at all. Right. We're pretty close to it. We can smell Muskogee from here. But we're excited. We got great plans for tonight, and I'm just gonna have a good time.
So. Oh, definitely. And I know this is something you guys have been dealing with. I mean, you auditioned, you told me, for The Voice really the first time back in July. So The Voice has kind of been in your lives for a year.
Yeah, it's a process, you know. They have a great, just the production staff from day one, you know. They have an agenda and they have a way of doing things, but it's awesome, man. The whole shebang has been an incredible experience.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it really has been a whirlwind since day one, and that included a trip home just last week, or close to home and more, to see the devastation there. What was that like?
You know, like, we've seen pictures and we were seeing, news clips, but you really don't know how bad it is until you walk through that stuff, and you can just feel, you know, the hurt and the pain going on, and it was pretty eye-opening. You know, we were excited because we were flying in on some private jet, but right then, that day, we got, you know, humbled ourselves right then, because it was just the
show didn't matter. That stuff didn't matter. You know, what was really eye-opening for me is to stand where the school used to be, and see, like, kids' backpacks and shoes and
their
stuff
papers
like that, and
saying what they want to be when they grow up.
And hear the metal still bending from the wind, and you know, you can stand right there in the school and look out, and the entire community is just, most of it is just gone.
It's unbelievable. And, you know, until you stand it, until you see it, you just don't grasp it. The
Right.
pictures don't do
they
justice.
Yeah, but you were able to help by taking part in the big concert. Had to be a fun event for you.
We've been waiting on that our whole lives, man.
A year ago, did you think that you'd be playing at the not the BOK Center, at the Chesapeake Arena in Oklahoma City?
Absolutely not. I mean, you couldn't have convinced us that we were doing that and going to be on stage with Blake and Usher and.
No kidding.
That was one you couldn't have called.
If you said you might have a chance to do a song with Blake Shelton, you know, on this thing, I maybe could have bought into it. You know, maybe if we can make the right connections, we could sing with Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
But for us to be on stage with Blake and Usher,
Not a combination you would expect.
Never would have thought that was going to happen.
So something we all want to know, or I definitely do, is, you know, the Healing in the Heartland concert lasted an hour, but then it went on for a couple hours after that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what were you guys able to do after the live stuff?
Well, they had us on a pretty tight schedule because we had to get back and start preparing for the live shows.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to stay in town very long. We got to watch Blake and friends really get down, and that's Blake's bread and butter, man.
Yeah,
He had a good time, and he gave the people what they wanted, you know.
And he introduced us to, you know, all the stars that, you know, we grew up listening to, and we're like,
That's awesome.
it was just so surreal. We're like, what are we doing here? You know, and it was just cool to mingle with some of your heroes, you know. So.
Oh, of course. And you were saying you had to get back to prepare for the show, so let's kind of talk about the show a little bit. When it comes to preparing, you guys have a lot to prepare for, because you do 2 songs yourselves, but then you do all these other songs with the other teams. So talk to us about the preparation that goes in for each week's show.
You know, we've been blessed to make it through each week up to this point, and right after a Tuesday elimination show, you know, somewhere around midnight, you know, you might get your songs for next. It really depends on what Blake is thinking. You know, we go back and forth with him and talk to him about song selection and stuff, but you get it and you're rehearsing the next day, you know, for the following week. And
yeah, you might get it at 1 o'clock that night or that morning, and then have to rehearse it at 8 in the morning. So even if you haven't done it before, it's just like, here we go, it's on camera, let's do it.
Time to go.
And but I mean, even the duet songs and sometimes those are pretty tough. Like the last one we did with Holly, we didn't even know the lines we were singing, what we were supposed to sing until we basically right before we walked on stage, we're like,
Wow.
okay,
Pull
so
it off.
yeah.
You have to lock it in. I just stared at the words forever,
Yeah.
and it gets pretty tough, but man, it's totally worth it,
Because at this point in the show, you're doing 2 songs per week and the duet songs. So are you just constantly practicing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As soon as we get in the car, we'll probably have headphones in our ears and listening for Monday's song.
We'll argue about who's right on a part and who's wrong.
Which
so.
I do love, the arguing between you guys, because it's brothers right here, and it's so much fun.
It's real, for sure.
Yeah, I love it. So how much does Blake have a say in what you guys sing and how you guys perform it?
He has a huge part. I mean, literally, we're emailing back and forth trying to decide on songs. And what's cool about it is if we don't like it or if we're not really feeling it, he's totally open. It's like, okay, well, let's try this route or let's try this song. And so it's not just, hey, it's not just a reality show. It's like Blake is really helping us. Blake is really involved, and I can't express enough how real that guy is, and he cares about where we end up, and even after the show. So he's very involved in everything but he's also will let you make a mistake if you feel like you need to, take another route, so.
And it's really easy with him. I think it's just because we're such kindred spirits. He's from the area, and
Yeah, that helps.
we talk alike, we think alike, and so if he absolutely hates an idea, he'll just say, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of ideas, this week you played Okie from Muskogee. Maybe not a song that's known nationally too well, but certainly a big song around here.
Oh, yeah.
Man, and actually we've been getting a lot of feedback from other than Muskogee people. We've been getting tons of messages saying, I never heard that song, but now it's my favorite, and they'll send us pictures of them downloading it and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
I've had people say, man, that song makes me wish I was from Oklahoma, that was a classic hit, and it always will be, and, Merle Haggard is Merle Haggard. You just can't beat it. And but when he said we were doing that, we're like, heck yes.
Because Blake picked that for you
Yeah.
guys.
Blake picked it, and at first we were like, we're going home.
Yeah. It's like nobody knows the song.
Muskogee's gonna vote for us, and then we're going home,
No,
And he was
Well,
like,
it turns out Blake
he's
was
like,
right.
yeah, he's like, no, I think this is gonna be big. And what really means the world to me is that night after the show, Merle Haggard tweeted us and followed us
On Twitter.
The
Really?
official Merle Haggard.
Yeah.
Yes. He said, "Thank you guys for singing my song."
Wow,
Which
that's it.
pretty
You guys
cool
have made
moment.
it. You're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, we're like-
That's all you
He's
need.
a legend,
Life
you know.
complete.
Life completes. Wow, okay. So when you do your performances, the part that I love, and they're getting better and better each time, I feel like, are the sets. I mean, you had the real fire, and then this last time, you had all those girls back there, which, whose idea was that?
It really, honestly,
ours.
it was not our idea. We showed up to rehearse our song, and you have all these girls ready to dance, and we're like, what's going on? Why are they here? And we didn't know how they were going to add dancers to a country song, but they did, and NBC does, and The Voice does a great job at, just making cool sets, and then with the fire, like, that thing was real. It was hot, and thought my eyebrows were going to burn off.
But you made it through.
Yeah.
Luckily, he didn't use as much hairspray as he usually does.
Yeah, that could have been bad.
So chemical reaction, maybe.
Bad.
Well, speaking of big shows, you got a big show tonight, right here in Muskogee. Going to be such a cool night.
So
It is.
pumped.
Man, we've had a ton of people, say they want to come attend a Swon Cert, and we've even had people tweet us, people from not around the area that are driving in to see this. So
From Dallas and Kansas, and like there's some true fans, and we've been itching to get back home and do a show in our hometown, and it's actually gonna be full band tonight. Like we thought about just bringing an acoustic in and maybe doing something like that, but if you're gonna, let's go big or go home, So
we haven't got to play with our band in 3 months, and we've had so much support, and just everything from messages to obviously voting and downloads and prayers and everything. Like, this is just a way that we want to say thank you. If people show up and want to hear us play, we're going to play.
Well, they're going to show up for sure. And I know some people who are going to be there are your family. and your girlfriends who, well, I guess you saw them last week, but they've been kind of your rock behind all of this. What do they think about all this fame that you guys are attracting?
Oh,
I don't know. They've been supportive since day one, really. I mean, each and every one of them. They actually sent us pictures of people camping out last night at the Civic Center because it's a free concert, and you know, it's just first come first serve. And they sent us pictures like, I think the town's ready, you know. So that's pretty cool. They're excited for us, and you know, and Mom and Dad have just been. I mean, you couldn't ask for better parents in this whole thing. And I mean, every day they're sending us, you know, we're praying for you guys, or and that means the world to us, you know, because without that, I don't know how anyone would go through this whole process.
Oh gosh, no. And your mom has been so cute. We've seen her. We've caught up with her at watch parties and stuff, and she's so supportive, so cute, crying a lot. But
they both cry. Don't let Dad fool you, man. He calls us crying every now and then.
Yeah,
they're really proud, man. It's
yeah,
cool.
of course.
And life out there has to be so much different than life was here,
It
to
is.
say the least.
I tell you what, though, like honestly, we have been either, this is what we do, we were either in a hotel rehearsing, on set rehearsing or filming. So we haven't really been out and about, you know, and it's just, we were walking through airports today, and it's weird, people come up and know who you are. It's like, it's crazy how many people watch this show. And like it just, so I guess we're just now getting a taste of it, and but it's definitely a different pace out there. It's very fast paced. It's never stops, and but that just makes you appreciate home that much more. You know?
And what were you doing here before you went out there?
We were playing shows. We were doing the grind, going back and forth to Nashville and writing songs, and but it just wasn't as fast paced. You know, it was, you know, on the weekends. We have a show on the weekends, and now it's like every day from, you know, 5 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night. You're doing something. You know, so.
And you know, our whole goal, like, to be really honest, we never thought we'd make it this far. You know, we were wanting to get a chair turn. You know, that was our thing, and we're unbelievably grateful to be where we're at. And but our whole thing was, you know, let's build a fan base. You know, obviously TV can help you build a fan base, and it has gone above and beyond the support. And I mean, when we started, we had like maybe 1,200 likes on our Facebook page, and you know, now it's somewhere
now you
around
have 12 million.
It's like, it's crazy. It's nuts. But but so just the fact that we're actually reaching people, and people are liking what we're doing, man, that means the world to us.
And I think it's so cool is your country, but a little different type of country. And I think you're introducing the world to a different style of country that they may not have heard, you know, like the Ogies from Muskogee, that kind of country music. Is that kind of what you were hoping to do in the first place?
Yeah, we definitely wanted to make our mark, and especially in country music, because that's where we're going to end up. You know, after the show's done, we're going to end up in the country market, and so that's where our heart is. But we've gotten so many messages, people saying, I'm not even a country music fan, but there's something about you guys when you sing, like, I like it. I'm starting to like country music, and man, that means the world to us. Like, because if you can bring somebody that never even thought about listening to country music to now listening and enjoying it, then you're doing something right. But at the end of the day, it's been all the support that's keeping us going, and like without your fan base and your fans and family, you got nothing. So.
Well, you've won over Shakira and Usher and Adam. They all like country music now, so that's pretty
Crazy.
cool.
It is crazy.
And we're about out of time, but finally, what would it mean to win?
Yeah.
That's a game changer. Well, anything at this point is a game changer, but you know, to win it, you know, that would mean, I think, aside from the actual winning part, just knowing that America voted you there, you know, that's what's a win to me.
Because when this whole thing started, that seems really impossible, and especially as a duo, we've heard we couldn't do it, and to do that as a duo and as brothers, and that would be pretty surreal. So.
Oh yeah.
Our very first audition, they said, you know, duos don't do good on this show. And we're like, oh, we're gonna try.
You've proven them wrong
Yeah.
for sure. 'Cause you guys have done well and going to continue to do well, and you of course have our votes and all of Oklahoma's votes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
We love
definitely.
you
And
guys.
for all of you that are watching us at KJRH.com, here's what you need to know about the concert. It is in Muskogee tonight. It's free, but people are already lining up. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Concert starts at 7. Again, it is free. We're going to stream that concert at kjrh.com/The Voice and on our 2 News mobile app.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having us.
Nice to meet you both, and
Been awesome.
good luck. And we'll have much more on the Swon Brothers visit to home tonight on 2 News at 5, 6, and 10.
All right. Good job,
you, guys.
Thank you so much.